Thank you so much for watching my videos. Hey, please like, thumbs up this video, and also subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you could be alerted to my new videos. All right, we're getting ready to get into this. Peace. Hey, y'all. I hope this is the mic. Cha! What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. All right, so I have told you all I was going to continue to follow this. Every little piece of evidence that comes out, I'm going to follow it and go over it with you all. So in my last video, we had gone over the insider report in regards to Jonathan Majors filing a counterclaim against his accuser. And we went over that with the piece by piece. Shout out to all my folks who engaged me in the comments. I really do appreciate you all for doing that, giving me some clarification of some things and alerting me to some new different ideas and things like that. So I do appreciate you all. Make sure you do the same thing for this video. Please engage me in the comments. Please hit that like button. And if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. And once you do, you'll be open to a plethora of new videos of movies and television series that I have reviewed. So now, child, who wore the glasses with the tape on the side? Me. Because we are about to get into this new article from Rolling Stones. And let me just tell you, there's a lot of information going on here. We are going to hit the highlights. We're going to you all can find this information. I'm going to try to leave a link in my subscription box, but if not, if you just type Rolling Stones, Jonathan Majors, this will come up. All right. So there are two writers, Cheyenne Roundtree and Althea Legaspi. They are the authors of this article. Now, what is it going over? Let's see. These kind of give an overview. They give an overview of what they're doing. And so this says, I'm going to read from right here. It said the criminal case remains open and the allegations threaten to upend his career. The first public stain on the otherwise unblemished reputation. And in dozens of new interviews with Rolling Stones, however, there have those who have known Majors over the past decade claim he has a history of abusive behavior. Now, you remember that Variety came out and said that there were other witnesses or other victims that were cooperating with the district attorney's office. So I'm wondering if these people are the ones that are cooperating with the district attorney's office, giving them a history of past abuse. And again, let me state this at the beginning. Everything that I state is an opinion and it's alleged. So just in case something I said has come to pass, it wasn't anything that I meant to say or was privy to any information. I am gathering information from this article and I'm levying my opinions as I read this article. I don't want anything that I say or make an opinions of to be based in any types of facts. All right, let's go. It says during this 3-month investigation, Rolling Stone spoke with more than 40 people. Here we go. They spoke with 40 people. So they did due diligence. They went out there and they talked with the people out on the streets that have known Majors in 3 different areas during his time in graduate school, his Hollywood career, and his personal romantic relationships. All right. So they talked with 40 people. 40 people that knew him in 3 different areas. So this tells me that they've done some detailed background work. So let's continue to go on. We don't want to make this long. Many describe Majors as being a complicated, unpredictable, and sometimes violent man who can switch from charming to cold in a flash. All of the sources, now I really want to read this, what they said here. All of the sources for this article requested anonymity, citing fear of career repercussions and personal retribution from Majors. Some claim they were prohibited from speaking. In the quote from this one person says, "My only response can be that I am silenced by an NDA he had me sign." All right. So we want to let you know that people are not using their names. They are talking about situations and statements. So when I read it the first time, I did not see people. I saw one person's name, but I did not see people use their names. And I don't know if they talked to the romantic partners themselves or people who were around when he had these romantic partners. So I want to kind of put that out there first. But baby, let's get into this. Their story suggests a pattern of alleged physical, mental, and emotional abuse that dates back a decade to Major's time at Yale's David Geffen School of Drama, where he was involved in physical altercations and continued to the sets of his movies and TV shows where production members raised questions over his treatment of crew. Now, they do point out that his attorney, Dustin A. Pusch, says that Jonathan Majors vehemently denies the Rolling Stones' false allegation that he physically, verbally, emotionally abused anyone. So that's what that article says. But they go back and they said, now here's the thing that one of the things that struck out to me, that most seriously, more than a dozen sources collectively claimed to Rolling Stones that Majors allegedly abused two romantic partners, one physically, both of them emotionally. It was pervasively known that he was a good actor and that he also would terrorize the people that he had dated. One of the sources says, it says Majors allegedly strangled one woman. Now here we go with the strangled. He was dating and was mentally and emotionally abusive with her. And these are nine sources claim this. So I've always questioned, and again, here is where my bias comes in from the people that I'm around. There's just no way in the world that if I had nine people that were associates of mine, that were friends of mine, that were family members of mine, there wouldn't be nine people to have known that somebody has strangled me and people were not dealt with. I'm not promoting violence. I've never said anything about this. I've said that somebody should have been dealt with. The second woman allegedly told friends that her relationship with Majors was emotional torture. And people don't talk to each other. This is the one thing, ladies, that one of the lessons that I think that should be learned, unless that gentleman is going from different people. Y'all need to start communicating with people when people go into relationships and stuff like that. And I do understand sometimes you take everything as a grain of salt. But when someone talks about somebody being violent with them, someone talks about being, and I don't know, because emotionally abusive has levels to it. Because I could say that the men that I have dated and have broken up with, that I could feel that they were emotionally abusive, but that has levels to it. I've never had anybody physically harm me in any way. But y'all start talking to each other. I mean, and gentlemen too. You know that there are women out here who are a hot mess and have a lot going on, and they're manipulative. They can cry wolf. They can shed those tears. You all need to be talking to each other to make sure that people do not get involved with people and personalities like that. I think it's time that we other some people. And what I mean by that is that if you see there's someone in the populace that's causing issues, problems, and things like that. And I know a lot of us want to say, well, that's not my business. I don't want to do anything. It's not about that. It is about if you hear or see somebody, they need to be other. There should be a note, an asterisk or something, so someone would know that this person is doing a whole lot. Let's continue. Those who are friends with the women or were present during their relationships with Majors independently corroborated details of the alleged abuse. Throughout conversations with Rolling Stones, they described feeling alarmed by what they witnessed at the time or what they were told by the women. And that sounds like what was that man's name on Twitter? Timothy. Those sound like the tweets that he had put out, like that people were alarmed and we were alarmed and we were shook. And then when questioned as to if you all had all this information, why did y'all not go to the police? Why didn't y'all do that? And they're like, oh, well, we tried, but they didn't want to do this or whatever. And I think we need to get all of this information out here. All right. Rolling Stones is withholding the names of women and specifics of their relationships as several sources voiced their fear that Majors and his team will retaliate against the women. My experience in dealing with him and watching him in relationship with several women is really upsetting, says one person familiar with at least two of Majors' relationship. As an outside observer, it's made me feel uncomfortable. So that was the one that they were talking about, his aggression in his relationships. So now they're talking about his aggression in his works. And they said that, I'm gonna paraphrase all of this to say that during his work on Magazine Dreams, this is the one where he's going to be the bodybuilder that this film is supposed to be released out in October, December, November, somewhere in the end of this year. There is an incident of where one person while on set and described that he was physically intimidating and he pushed one person. And people felt uncomfortable because, number one, he was an executive producer of the show, and people felt like they couldn't say anything because of that. Now, they are told that the producers were aware of one complaint that was made toward the end of the filming and disputed the person was physically intimidated. So now you've got two areas of his life where they're talking about his relationships and they're talking about him on the job. And again, right here is where you have his attorney, again, denying, because that's what he's paid for, to deny. And I'm trying to get to, because we talked about two areas. Now I'm trying to get to the third area. This is where it was more, now I pulled this picture up and wanted to stay on this picture because this is how Jonathan Majors, at that time that he was at Yale and at the time that he was in all of these relationships that they're talking about, this is what he looked like. He wasn't the buff Ant-Man and Creed star. This is how he was looking when all of this was going on. And you ask why? Because a lot of times when we see these articles, we see the person as we see them now, and we don't see them as we saw them as we see them then. So this is him in When We Rise. This was a television drama that was done. I think it was on ABC. I'm believing it was on ABC. So this is how he looked back in that time. So the women themselves did not sit down for an article. These are people that were ancillary, adjacent to the women reporting to Rolling Stones. And because Rolling Stones had up to 9 sources about this, they're corroborating all their information. It says here the first woman he dated, he strangled and physically and emotionally abused. This is what 9 sources say. They say he was very romantic, and then became manipulative and abusive. It says 2 sources claim she tried to leave multiple times and had an exit plan at one time, but remained in the relationship. Now, this is interesting. And I'm wondering, was there a report to the domestic violence hotline? Because this is language that I do know that or this is language and also actions that people that are in a domestic violence situation tend to take, exit plans, figuring out how to get out of a relationship. Majors emotionally and abused a second woman he was dating, and 9 people confirmed this. Don't know if these are the same people seeing the same relationship or not. I know one person, they had 9 people, and this person has 9 people. So I don't know if they're the same 9 people, because again, they said that they talked to 40 people. It says no one is surprised that this is coming out. This is a quote from one of the witnesses or the reporters. Or the people that the reporters spoke to for this article. No one is surprised that this has come out, and it always felt like it was a matter of time because his behavior never changed. And so let's see, because I want to get to this is still talking about the partner relationships. This part right here is that the defense team gave Rolling Stone 6 people to talk to. I think it said 4 people said that they didn't give them permission to put out any statement. One person said that they don't even know what statement that they're talking about, and then they had the person that dated him between 13 and 18 say that he was a lovely and wonderful person. So I'm trying to now get to now. Nearly every alumni who spoke to Rolling Stones noted Majors is an obvious talent, dedication, drive, and the feeling he was bound for greatness. His tremendous potential as an individual, combined with his focus and hard work ethic was something that I expected he was going to take him very far. There's obviously hard work and intense. So no one is saying that he is not a good actor, that he is not a great actor. So now let's talk about when he was in school. Remember, we talked about his romantic life. We talked about his work life, where there was a complaint filed against him on Magazine Dream. Here's another one. That bluntness and intensity, one classmate says, could become too much, with Major's behavior allegedly manifesting into several confrontations and altercations with his peers while he was acting, according to 6 Yale alumni. There was something else there, the classmate said. Things would slip out, and you knew it came from a personal place of truth. He was always working with something. When you're doing a physical scene, all of the physical contact has to be agreed upon. Now, this is his classmates. Nothing, especially in the now we're gonna get to this word. Is this pedagogy of that school is fly off the handle. His behavior, and they're talking about Jonathan Major, was very problematic for his class, another Yale alumni says. A lot of people felt in physical danger around him, and certainly in mentally precarious position because of him. Things reached a point where the Yale administration once sent an email reminding about rehearsal etiquette and violence. One day after Majors was involved in a separate altercation with 2 students, a former Yale student claims. The 2 students did not reply to requests for comment. So again, the people who were involved in the altercation did not respond or make respond to the reporters contacting them. These are people who were around or who observed this behavior. One of Major's classmates claims Major struck him while goofing around during a short break during a rehearsal. The men had been playfully wrestling when the former schoolmate claims he pulled a fast, surprise move on Majors, which seemed to stun him. Majors responded by slapping him across the face. Taken aback, the schoolmate says that he confronted Majors on why he hit him, but Majors allegedly shrugged it off and acted like it wasn't a big deal. He can be very charismatic and really gentlemanlike and sweet, but then he could also be really cold, scary, and violent, the schoolmate says. He was someone who would use his physicality to intimidate. All right. So we're not going to go into any more because I don't want this to be too long. here we go. This is the last part that I want to do, because now we're talking about his school life, we're talking about his personal life, and we talked now. We talked about his romantic life, we talked about his work life, and now we're talking about his school life. Now this is the part that I wanted to kind of go over, and then we'll sum everything up. The incidents alarmed his peers enough that they voiced their concerns to the administration several times and told school officials that they felt unsafe around him. One complaint stemmed from Majors allegedly telling the women of his class, and I quote, that they didn't match the caliber or tenacity of the men. However, no action was apparently taken. Former Yale graduates claim that in addition to the students' complaints, professors and the administration were already aware of Major's disruptiveness in the classroom because instructors saw it firsthand. They have in parentheses that Yale instructors were present during the alleged incidents and did not respond to a request for comment. So they didn't get to talk to them. A spokesman for the program declined to comment on any specific allegations about Major's behavior, but says this: Yale is committed to preserving the confidentiality and integrity of its complaint processes. This commitment helps encourage our community members to participate and is consistent with state and federal privacy laws. Accordingly, we do not comment on even confirm the existence of specific complaints. And so we know about what's going on with Jonathan Majors. And this is him in Magazine Dreams. So what do you all think? Rolling Stone has put out a scathing article on Jonathan Majors right on the heels of him filing charges against his accuser. So what do you all think? Let's chop it up down in the comments. Is there any part of this article that you've read that concerns you? Is there anything about parts of this article that you have questions about? Let me know. All right, people. We do this every week. I want to thank you all for commenting, liking this video, and reviewing this video. I also want to thank those of you all that have subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate you all, and I hope you're enjoying the playlist and things like that I have of all the videos. All of the movies and television series that I have reviewed, and also these pop culture chats. It seems like this Jonathan Majors incident is going to be, we just going to continue to follow it, y'all. I'm not going to give you, again, when I first started this, I told you, I just want to get the information out. When things don't make sense, we're going to talk about it not making sense. When more information comes, we incorporate that into the information that we have, and we're just going to keep going with this thing, y'all. All right. As always, people, this is a mess, child. Bye-bye. We're going to have some more stuff to talk about. Watch what I tell you. I can't even rest good without something else coming up. Bye.